Movies. We watch movies. You listen to us talk about movies that we watched without you.
It's beautiful.
Thanks.
All right.
Words. 1.
1, 2, 2, 2, 5, 5. Hello, this is a Rubit. I am here with my friend Adam, a Fullerton. We are going to do the Super Games Cast 64. 1, 1, 2, 2. My circuit boards are overheating. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2.
I hope that robot overheats because you just called it Super Games Cast.
Super Games Cast 64, the show with Austin Guttery.
No, it's not!
By Austin Guttery, a PlayStation 4.
Robot, stop!
Oh, okay, sorry.
Robot, you're broken.
Oh, my circuits are broken. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 4, 4, 7. Hello, Adam, and welcome to another episode of Super Films Cast 64.
It's a Russian robot.
Yes. Today, we are going to talk about all the movies. About the movies with Adam Fullerton.
Yeah, to my immediate front, we have Microsoft Sam.
Hello, Adam. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, computer. Tell me one thing.
Yes.
Do you have the capacity to love?
Well, I do not know what love is.
Smoke spills out from
I've heard
the robot's
word
sides.
love, but I don't know how to feel the love of another woman computer.
The head starts spinning around.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
Sparks
What
fly
is
out of
love?
its stomach.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No. He's dead.
Adam,
He's dead.
thus vanquishing the robot,
He's
goes to StubHub to buy all kinds of cheap tickets.
Adam's a...
Go to StubHub.com.
Adam's the Rubit now.
StubHub. You can find it cheap for concerts, events, and many other things.
Welcome to Movie Phone, brought to you by the Dubs Observer and 106.1 Kiss FM.
Woo!
Oh, happy day. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing well.
Good. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm always worried about you.
Yeah, why are you so worried? You always ask me how I'm doing, making sure everything's okay?
I just, I just know that you're struggling a little bit in life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll post all these long statuses on Facebook, and then I'll
Why is the world so hurtful?
Hashtag the Stuggle.
The Stuggle.
Yeah, hashtag the Stuggle. It's just too real to me. Always.
Why do I go on? Why do I go on?
I don't know why you go on. Why I go on? It's Popeye's chicken.
Ooh, that chicken, pro.
They have cheesy biscuits now. I saw.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been to a Popeyes in, I don't know, ever. I think I went for when Bad Radio did their Juneteenth episode and I had to buy a whole bunch of chicken.
You're making a mistake.
Chicken eating contest. I know you're not supposed to say chicken eating, but that's what it was.
Well, I mean, you can say chicken eating. It's just when it's so close to Juneteenth.
Yeah. Ooh, we are very close, aren't we?
Yeah, we passed it.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah, we almost could not be further away from Juneteenth right now.
Yes, indeed.
But go to Popeyes, man. They have great deals.
Man, I'm trying to watch my girlish figure, Adam. I'm not a svelte young lad like you.
Since when does fried chicken be bad for you?
It's chicken. It's supposed to be good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a white meat.
White meat.
Correct.
What have you been watching, Adam, on the TVs, big and small?
Do we want to get into this now? Not to break the fourth wall. Let the listeners
Are we
in
break
behind
the fourth wall?
Behind the curtain.
Well, I guess we could get into it on the next episode of Super Games Cast 64, which we're not doing right after this one.
No, it's going to happen in the future.
In the future.
Anything could happen between now and then, and you know what? Anything probably will.
It's all happened before, and it will happen again.
Time
and again
is a flat circle.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to add that show on my list. I forgot to do that.
Well,
Now I just broke the fourth wall again.
Yeah, Trey, talking
So
about
you know what? I don't know
future
if I
stuff.
would put that on there.
There's a second season. You have to factor
Because
that in.
that
That's
second
50%.
season, that is. Damn. That's a pickle.
Trey, what have you been watching?
I've been watching a TV show, which we'll talk about in the next episode. This sucks, but
Yeah,
we're teasing
what are you
ahead.
doing? Don't do this.
I
Cut
know.
all this shit out.
Cut all this shit out. Do you want to start over?
Let's go back to doing robots for a while.
Okay. Hello, Adam, and welcome to another. I'm sorry. I haven't been watching too much besides The Leftovers. And we'll talk about that, eventually. But I finished up The Leftovers, and it's great.
Yeah?
It's a good one.
Okay.
And mainly been playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Sounds like something that you would talk about on another podcast.
I know. But you know what, Adam? I have a question for you since you're not really a gamer.
Okay, go for it.
You don't like the video game. Are you excited about the SNES Mini?
Not a little bit.
Really?
Not at all.
Were you not? Did you not play the SNES as a kid?
Yeah, but why would I want to go back?
Because we have to go back.
Games are better now. Trey's in TV mode right now. He's not even talking about
Gotta go
films.
back.
He's so detached from the film
I'm really detached from
world.
this podcast. Sorry.
It's
Adam.
fine. I'm just saying SNES, SN.
I don't agree because I
BS.
think
It's
a lot of those
bullshit.
8-bit, 16-bit games are so well done. They're still good today.
I think that those are more. You're more able to go back and play.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who was like, "You need to go back and play all the Metal Gear games."
Yes, you do.
And
I agree with you.
and
Not Metal Gear. Metal Gear's solid. Not Metal
Well,
Gear.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said, you got to do it, and he gave me his GameCube, and I put it in, and then
You mean Twin Snakes, right?
it was a
Twin
remaster
Snakes. Yeah, Twin Snakes.
of
The first one.
the first one. And
You would like Metal Gear.
and I put it in, and I was like, "This is bullshit.
No,
I can't tell what anything is. I'm just like trying to walk around, and there's just polygons everywhere."
No, the GameCube version's pretty well done. Are you
man,
sure
it's
you
rough.
played that?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's
I mean,
not.
it looks
it's
like
not polygons, but it's not good. I try to go back and do the remaster of Skyrim, and it's jarring.
You're just spoiled. You're spoiled.
I can, yeah.
You're
so?
spoiled with all these new games out there.
Why would I want to play something old when I could play something new?
Because why would you watch an old movie then?
Well, but old movies, it's not an interactive process that like really grows. The process of, movie making has been pretty much the same.
Not necessarily. Go back to the old, black and white movies and talkies, and
Yeah.
they're very different. The storytelling is very different back then.
Yeah. I mean,
Then
it's,
you go now.
but
I think though there's a lot of games that you should play as far as maybe not just the gameplay but the story. I think the Metal Gear story would be right up your alley.
but there's just a lot to like get through.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree. Especially the first game. I played it on original PlayStation. I played the original PlayStation version. It's tough to play the original version.
And part of it is that film still looks good. That's one of the big, because you can go back and the film looks good. If I were to go back and try to watch whatever Titanic on VHS, I would probably shoot my brains out. But because I'm able to watch old movies that still have quality,
they still remaster video games.
No, I know, but they don't look as good.
No, I agree with you. That's the argument for those 16-bit games, is that they still look great. They still look really good because they're 16-bit. They don't have to rely on realistic polygons.
Right, but it's like side scrollers and stuff. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Oh well. But I do think you should at least give Metal Gear a shot because the story is just batshit crazy. It's amazing.
I could read Wikipedia articles.
It's not the same, man. You got to play those games. The third one is so good. And the second one's really good too. You would like them, I think.
Maybe I would, but I don't know.
I mean, just watch a video on them, honestly. Maybe
Well, fine. Then I could do that.
But
is there a someone in this room who maybe have has made some sort of video that I could watch.
Well, Adam, if you go it's not really it's not a summary of the game. It's mainly
fine, I'll watch someone else's fucking video then.
Influences of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
And I'm planning to do the film influences of Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and 4. I don't know about Peace Walker because it's very anime-based, and I'm not too keen on anime. I don't know much about anime. And Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, it's not as much story as the others.
Interesting.
Whereas the fourth one is... the biggest criticism for the fourth game is that it was a movie, and I played that last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a movie. It's pretty much a movie, but it's Metal Gear. I fucking love Metal Gear. I love the story.
Right.
And I was fine with that. But yeah, it's a fucking movie. But the fifth one is sort of the opposite, where it's an unfinished game. It's a whole thing. It's kind of hard to explain, but not hard to explain, but it'll take a while. But it's unfinished. It's an unfinished game. Interesting. And it's not that big on story. And that was the biggest criticism, because Metal Gear is story and bosses and characters and weird secret agent / government conspiracy stuff going on, and yeah, it's not that much. The nanomachines.
How did
nanomachines.
Metal Gear change after 9/11? 9/11 changed everything, Trey. How did Metal Gear change?
Probably just, I think if you play the second game, it's sort of evident how it... Well, actually, you know what? The second game, the final battle was supposed to take place... I'm probably wrong, but I think it was supposed to take place on the Twin Towers.
Oh,
and they changed it.
So there
was a huge battle in New York.
Big difference. I was making a joke.
No, there was a huge, I think it was a huge shift.
Interesting.
Like, it was supposed to be more crazy, and then they had to do it on the Empire State Building instead of the Twin Towers.
What a joke of a building that is.
I know. What a joke.
Fucking chump-ass building.
Chumps. Anyway, though, so you're not as excited for the SNES Classic?
Nah.
No. All right.
One thing that I watched, did I talk about Oh Hello last time?
Yeah, you did.
Well, then never mind.
You can talk about it again.
Well,
say it again.
No, I talked about Oh Hello. I watched Rory Scovel's stand-up special.
Okay.
It's okay. You don't have to see it.
All right.
It's funny stuff. Did you ever see the OJ doc?
No, I did not yet.
Okay.
I'm just,
Well, he does an amazing impression of OJ's friend.
I tell the same jokes as Chris Rock.
No, not that one. He talks like this. He has a very voice. And Rory Scovel does it really well.
Yeah.
And it's
Scoville?
Scoville.
Ah.
As in...
Like Max Scoville.
I would assume.
Sure. 2 people are clapping right now.
When was the last time you clapped while listening to a podcast?
I've fist pumped during a podcast. Maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just threw up a...
Just a really good reference to something. I'm just like, fuck yeah. All right. I get it.
And then you open your eyes and look around, and your room is empty, and
just
your pants are on the floor, static coming in from the TV.
Just blood coming out of the urethra.
Why? What's wrong with you?
Don't want to talk about it on the podcast. We'll talk about it later.
Is that going to be on next week's episode?
Next week's episode. My venereal problems. Do you call them venereal problems if it's your wiener, or is that just vagina?
Yeah, you can have it with your wiener.
Okay, I got venereal problems. I don't really have venereal problems.
Oh, big old...
No, I
holds
do not
up both of his crossed fingers.
Venereal problems. Okay,
ladies, it was a dirty toilet seat.
Ladies, I don't.
That Trey was just rubbing his dickhead against.
It's like salad fingers. Got the rusty spoon.
But instead of a spoon, it's your wiener. It's your wiener.
Hello. I got a rusty spoon. God, did you ever watch Salad Fingers?
I did. I remember kids in middle school being so excited.
Yeah.
He did it on drugs.
He killed himself after he made these.
Oh, it's so cool because he did it. He was on drugs.
Dude, it's so trippy, man. So trippy. Let's have some Four Locos and watch it.
Four Locos?
Yeah, Four Locos, bro. So this is Super FilmsCast 64, not Super Internet Video Cast 64, or Super Let's Watch a Comedy on Netflix Cast 64, or Super Video Games Cast 64.
Talking about some bullshit Metal Gear shit and TV.
I'm sorry, this podcast is off the rail. I'm sorry. I failed. I'll leave you alone.
Most podcasts are trains. Ours is a monorail. It only has one rail that it can go off of. It's loose. It's about to fall.
I did listen to some podcast today that's there's a whole bunch of like gaming podcasts now from SB Nation, and I just hated it because they were not on topic for about 20 minutes, and we're about 15 minutes in. We haven't talked about a freaking film yet, so I apologize.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're beating them.
I hope so. Probably are.
Trey, I'm cheesed off.
Why are you cheesed off?
It's just so freaking cheesed.
Why are you cheesed? As I pull up the news articles of the day, why are you cheesed?
Lord and Miller removed from the Han Solo.
Yeah, that was
movie.
The big news story, man.
The big movie, and I was upset that we missed it. I almost called for an emergency podcast because I'm legitimately.
I would have done it. I would have done the emergency podcast.
I didn't have time, but I am legitimately very upset about this. Mm-hmm. So if you want to, so you know what happened by now, probably.
Do you have? I have an article here, but do you have the full thing up?
I know the details.
Yeah, give the details.
Okay, so Phil Lord, Chris Miller. I believe it could be the other way. Yeah, no, it is Phil Lord, Chris Miller.
And they did the Lego Movie.
Directors.
They did
21 Jump Street. Mm-hmm. They did a lot of other things. They're working on an animated Spider-Man movie right now.
Sure.
They were the ones put in charge of the Han Solo spinoff.
Yes.
So they're shooting.
How far are they into it?
Well, there's 3 weeks left.
How long was the shoot? A few months?
I assume.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I remember them. They were out on location during last football season. I remember. I don't think they were actually shooting. They may have just been scouting, but only 3 weeks left. And Disney decided, no, we can't do it with these guys. They were getting back the dailies. They weren't happy with how it was turning out. And so they took away the movie from them. Apparently, there was too much improv.
Yeah.
For their tastes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of their whole thing, is that they'll go and they'll let the actors kind of play and do whatever they want. And for Disney to take it away, like, why are you hiring these guys then? Mm-hmm. I have zero confidence in Disney now. Because, as I've said before, there hasn't been, there's been 2 so far. So there's been Force Awakens, Rogue One. Mm-hmm. Force Awakens was a remake of the first one, which I thought was fine. It'd be a good launching point. Rogue One, I was excited about. Gareth Edwards, they kind of did the same thing, except they let him go back and just reshoot everything. Because they got back the dailies and they said, no, this is not what we want. We need you to go back and reshoot. Mm-hmm. He did that. Lord and Miller did not. Apparently it got to the point.
Wasn't it with, what's the producer's name who wrote Empire?
Lawrence Kasdan?
Yeah, isn't it that they butted heads together?
Yeah, so he apparently is a super big...
Stick to the script.
It's the written word, and I think he actually wrote this script.
Okay.
Or at least the story. Yeah. He and his son had a big part in it, and I think he wanted it to be very much... If you're a writer, that makes sense. I understand if you're a writer and wanting it to be how it's written. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you know like who these guys are that you're hiring to do the movie, don't make it not their kind of movie. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's happening over and over again in Hollywood.
That's happening with the Marvel movies. There was an article. I think I have it up here.
That was what happened to Edgar Wright when he lost Ant-Man.
And actually, I have the article right here. Let me keep going. Let me get this article up.
Well, yeah. So it's basically the producers are given all the creative power. Essentially, they get final
because
say
they had the secret sauce,
and they're cutting off directors and sacrificing however they see their vision. Apparently, this Star Wars thing, they were doing it more of a comedy, and Disney was not on board with that.
But they've always pitched it as a comedy,
Right.
It seemed like.
Yeah, definitely. I do not trust Disney at all with these movies?
I'm still waiting to see, because I think it's just that they think they have some kind of Bible and they want to stick to that Bible. They don't want to go off course. And when you start taking Star Wars, which is such a revered franchise, then if you're trying to play with it, they don't like that, because it needs to be, because, they're going to have a million people. They're going to, every single line of dialogue will be dissected. And
right.
if they make a joke about something, oh, is that canon? Is that in the so I kind of see it in that way, even though I disagree with that. I think if you're going to get creative minds to, you should have faith in the directors you pick to do what they're going to do and do it well.
Right.
So, yeah, I have the article with Edgar Wright. He talked about on his, I guess, promotional campaign for Baby Driver, which we'll review in a week or two.
Yeah.
Probably 2 weeks. Also, Planet of the Apes is getting good reviews. We got to do that too.
Okay.
So he says, this is a article with Variety. Oh, no, I'm sorry, a podcast with Variety. I wanted to make a Marvel movie, but I don't think they really wanted me to make an Edgar Wright movie.
That's exactly what's happening here, is that they wanted kind of the name and the clout, but they didn't want a Lord and Miller movie.
Exactly, yeah. Which, yeah, it's neutering. It's neutering.
It's so frustrating, because this is when they were announcing stuff, this was the one that was super exciting to me. I was excited by Rian Johnson directing the new one, and then now with all the stuff that was coming out from Mark Hamill,
why don't they just put, if they're going to be so strict and conservative about this, just put no-name directors in there who are going to do it. Right. Or maybe directors who are good with performances, but that's it, because they're not going to have any kind of creative sway to anything.
I mean, I think that's kind of what they were trying to do here, because they're not huge names.
No,
they've had mainstream successes. But like Gareth Edwards wasn't a big name, and they gave him a movie, and Rian Johnson, his biggest movie was Looper, which is a movie that people know. Movie, but it's a good movie, but it's not. It's not like they're bringing when they brought in Ron Howard. It's like that's a name. I think Ron Howard he's done
great stuff,
pretty good movies lately, but he's
just very vanilla though. He's very here's your big Oscar nominated movie. I like Ron Howard. I love Apollo 13.
Right.
And The Grinch is a guilty pleasure of mine.
I enjoy The Grinch. The Grinch is a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's very fun. But yeah, Ron Howard's very safe, I guess is a good word. I don't know.
Yeah.
But probably. He's a good director, but it's not going to have that same. Has he done a comedy, Ron Howard? Has he done anything like that, comedy-wise?
I'm sure I'm just blanking right now.
Yeah.
But, because, part of the thing was that they thought it was a little too laughy. And so
that was the point, right?
They kind of want it to be, a space heist or whatever.
Right.
Or
21 jump hyperspeed.
Right.
Speed,
yeah, exactly. 21 jump to hyperspace.
Yeah.
But man, I was just so excited to get Star Wars out of George Lucas's hands.
Now it's in Disney's hands.
But when everyone was like shitting on Disney, I was like, this could be really interesting. They brought on J.J. Abrams, who I thought did a really good job with Star Trek, and it, I don't know, they have so many resources. They could do anything they want, and all they're doing
turning into Marvel
is just.
Well, I guess they are Marvel. They own Marvel too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing with Marvel. It's going to be neuter. It's going to be very safe. And they have a formula, and if you go against the formula, you're axed.
But the thing is about Marvel even is that they had some smaller characters that they allowed, smaller universes, where you have movies like Ant-Man, where even though they ended up, throwing out Edgar Wright, you can do something a little weird with it. Guardians of the Galaxy, you can do something a little off the wall and different with it.
I think though with that is that those are characters people don't know about.
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone knows who Han Solo is.
Right. And so they want this to be, I guess the big thing is that they want every movie to make $2 billion.
Yeah.
Which, sure, it will, but I I don't know.
It's sort of just, I guess, the state of Hollywood today, where people are trying to be extremely safe.
Yeah,
they don't want to take risks. They want to be safe, even though people love it. Like, people love Guardians of the Galaxy because it was so out there,
right?
But that's a once in a, and they probably weren't expecting it to be that big, you know.
Do you have a Han Solo? If there's like a line in Star Wars that encapsulates Han Solo, you may know where I'm going with this.
Probably him saying when Leia says "I love you" and he goes "I know."
That's that was fucking improvised.
Yeah. Really?
Yes, that's not in the script.
I think I remember hearing that. Yeah. I think.
God, it just because I was really legitimately excited, and I was excited for those guys too because I like everything they do. And if this was just the biggest fucking smash hit of all time, it would be huge for them. But I mean, they have other stuff going on. But man, I was so bummed.
Yeah. No, it doesn't bode well for that movie. Anytime a director is changed, it's usually not a good sign.
Right.
Yeah. It's really not.
And there's enough stuff there. Well, they'll probably pull the best stuff.
Yeah.
It'll probably be decent. But I don't know. Because
I think even I heard the guy who played Han Solo even complained, right?
I didn't necessarily hear that.
Let me find that. Keep ranting.
Yeah, there's just there's a lot of things that seemed positive out of this, and I don't know.
You didn't
it just
like
feels so
Force
limited.
Awakens at all? You didn't like that?
I thought Force Awakens was fine for what it was. I thought it was kind of a remake of A New Hope, which is not necessarily.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean Force Awakens. I meant
Rogue One.
Yeah,
Rogue One. I couldn't have and I guess that's the argument against having characters that aren't a thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't care about any of them. Mostly because they were all. There's so many of them.
They weren't all white. You didn't like that?
No, I loved that they weren't white. But what I don't love is when Forrest Whitaker is like, I'm going to fight against...
Yeah.
I'm going to fight against the Empire. And then they're like, let's run out of here. And he's like, no, I'm ready to die. And...
Yeah, there was too many characters and not enough...
enough development. There's
development.
Some cool stuff. But there's also just... There's just fighting scenes where no one's really like talking or having witty banter or any sort of development. It's just all just a big ol' slog.
So I'm reading a Business Insider. Drama on the Han Solo movie set included a fired editor and a last-minute acting coach for its star.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. An acting coach for the star, I could see that.
And okay, so Hollywood Reporter. All right, so Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy and directing duo did not hit it off from the start of production. Both sides struggled with control as there was a constant battle over how scenes should be shot and how much Lord and Miller would stray from the script.
Yep.
In one instance, the tirade was told by sources that Lord and Miller only did 3 different setups for a scene shot on the Millennium Falcon versus the 12 to 15 that a movie of the size usually does. This led to limited options to choose from in editing. So I guess they didn't really,
So they were, I guess that's more of a comedy setup then.
And the duo's improvisational style didn't go over well for many of the crew, known for their comedies Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street, in which Lord and Miller collaborated heavily with their cast on a movie of the size of the Star Wars project that led to hundreds of crew members standing around waiting for marching orders, according to THR. Lord and Miller also shot some scenes by delivering improv lines to actors, according to Sources 1. Castian saw this. He demanded that every line be said word for word. Reports, anyway. Let me go here. So I guess in May, Lucasfilms fired editor Chris Dickens and replaced him with Pietro Scalia, and the company also brought on an acting coach for their star, Alden Ehrenreich, who plays young Han Solo, and that's a rarity this late in the project, so I guess they weren't happy with him. And Lucasfilms wasn't satisfied with the performance Lord and Miller were getting out of him. It's possible, how do you spell Ehrenreich?
That
says he wasn't pleased with Lord and Miller either. Star Wars News Net reports that the actor voices concerns about how the character was coming across to a producer, who then sent it up the ladder to Kennedy. One source told SWNN that Enrich's performance of Solo is oddly comparable to Jim Carrey's performance in Ace Ventura at times.
Okay. Yeah, that would be bad.
So, doesn't seem like it's going well on all fronts.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's Business Insider. That's a story from Business Insider if you want to look that up. So, I don't know. Maybe they were in the right. It doesn't sound good. Ace Ventura.
No, I mean, Ace Ventura is good. I'll watch Ace Ventura. It's not necessarily what you want from this movie, though.
Right. So I don't know. It sounds like a mess.
Yeah. That's, man. Well, anyway.
It'd be great if they could get Daniel Day-Lewis, but another news report, Daniel Day-Lewis has retired from, unless you have anything to say.
No, I'm ready to move on.
Daniel Day-Lewis has now retired from acting.
Do you believe this for 1 second?
No, I don't believe it.
How long before he's in his next movie?
3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
He's probably just taking a sabbatical.
There's zero chance.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you? I mean, I guess you've done everything that
he's done a lot.
That you would want to do. He's never really done a bad movie.
No, he wins Academy Awards for every movie he does.
So there's something to
drink your milkshake.
I'm Abraham Lincoln.
I got a weird voice for this one. He had a weird. He did the historically accurate,
right?
Though.
Yeah,
he had a weird voice.
Yeah, I just don't see why. Like. You can be picky. You can do whatever you want.
Dashing the hopes of those who thought that all right, whatever. That's just padding.
Yeah.
What does it say? Anyway, his management says that Daniel Day-Lewis will no longer be working as an actor. He is immensely grateful to all his collaborators and audiences over the many years. This is a private decision, and neither he nor his representatives will make any further comments on this subject. Does he have like a wife and kids? Maybe it's like he wants to spend time with his kids, or
but that's fine. Come back. Come back later.
Come back.
Go shoot for 2 months and then spend all the time you want with your kids. I just don't see it. And there's so many people that were just saying stuff. Oh yeah, he's just taking on a role where he's not an actor, so
he doesn't
doing the method
really
acting
do that. I mean, he's a big method actor, but doesn't he's not like Joaquin Phoenix, when he did that. He's not really that kind of guy.
Right. So it's, man, who you trying to fool? You trying to fool me?
No, I'm trying to fool anyone, bro.
Exactly.
So HBO is developing a Watchmen TV series with Damon Lindelof of Leftovers and Lost. How you feel about that?
I'm into that.
Yeah, I'm into that too. I liked Watchmen.
Watchmen graphic novel is
it's great.
Is one of my favorite stories of any sort of media that I have. And I enjoy the movie. I get why people didn't like the movie.
I enjoyed it too.
Just because it was so faithful to the graphic novel.
A little bit, except for the ending.
And then, it was weird because it was so faithful to it in so many ways. And then they changed the ending, but it was basically the same.
Yeah, I think well, I guess it will be made today because it's going to be a TV show. I think they keep the ending this time around. Because I think it was just so out there.
Yeah.
Back in 2008, it came out?
Something like that.
I want to say it was my first semester at UNT, so it was like 2008.
Okay, I would believe you.
Yeah. Also, I think one of my favorite trailers of all time.
It's a great trailer.
Yeah. And that song is just so great for that.
Yeah. It's also my favorite movie with blue dicks.
Yeah. Blue dicks in that movie. You got a lot of those blue schlongs in that one.
Do you see blue dicks in Avatar? I don't think you do.
No, you don't. That was a PG movie for the children.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but you're allowed to see dicks as long as they're blue.
Yeah, that's true.
Did Genie show his dick in Aladdin?
He did. His, that little tail? That was actually his dick.
His penis.
That was his peen.
What about Papa Smurf and the Smurfs?
Maybe. I don't know. We have to do a ring check on that one.
What other movies have blue? What about Big Fat Liar, where
I remember that
Frankie Muniz turns Paul Giamatti blue?
I remember that one. That was a good one. There was a funny tweet from Frankie Muniz just like a year or two ago, and someone said some shit about him, and he was like, "Hey, fuck you, man! I'm retired. I can do whatever the fuck I want now."
Yeah,
just like, hey,
he's 5'3". He races cars. And
I remember that one, the Race in the Car movie. He was in all those Disney movies.
Well, he did the Soapbox Derby one.
Soapbox, and then My Dog Skip.
But he does like F1 racing now.
Oh, really now? He does? I didn't know that.
He at least did a few years ago.
Okay.
He was big into it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I hope that kid does well. Hope he's good. You know? He's one of the good ones. I think. I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Unlike Amanda Bynes.
Yeah. More like Amanda...
Crimes.
You know, I think I might be wrong, but I think it must be. I think it's hard for child actors in general, but I think it's probably harder for women than men child actors. Like it just seems like the dudes get more of a pass if they flip out than the females do. You know, like Miley Cyrus, like she's gonna be slighted because she had a freak out or whatever. And
but they also, guys will kind of do this thing where they're kids and then they don't really show up in their teens, and then they'll just reappear once they're like 30. Kind
of like
Haley Joel Osment.
Haley Joel, and I always forget his name. Looper. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right. I guess he was in Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah. He's in a lot of stuff. I actually kind of saw one of those dumb little Facebook videos about like all the stuff he's been in. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he was in all that.
Yeah.
And he actually has a good head on his shoulders too. It seems like.
Whatever happened to Jonathan Lipnicki?
Jonathan Lipnicki?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I don't know either.
Well, him too.
Yeah. Whatever happened to those kids? A lot of those kids. I don't have enough time to get into that, but a lot of it's very bad because it's. You have parents.
You got those Bryan Singers running around.
You joke, but yeah, you do. And you have the parents probably stealing money from the kids. And then there was actually a Cracked.com article like a few years back, and it was the girl who played Matilda.
Oh, yeah.
And you read that?
I did read that.
Yeah. And it's interesting if you ever want to check that out. Yeah, about child stars. So it seems like people are tired of Transformers.
What?
So yeah, people are getting sick of it.
When did people become sick of Transformers?
So the last night
there was a metal dinosaur in the last one, Trey. What more do people want?
All I want is Mark Wahlberg to
He's in there.
Hey, you're a Transformer? Oh, that's cool. I'm a Transformer too.
What? No.
That's all I want from my Transformers movies nowadays. Anyway, the last night has made $15.7 million. It's opening on Wednesday, and while that may seem like a lot of money, it's not even a tenth of the film's $217 million production cost. And as for other Transformers movies, the 2007 original made $36.6 million on opening day. Revenge of the Fallen made $62 million. Dark of the Moon made $37.7 million, and Age of Extinction made $41.9 million.
Do you think for a second that this movie's not going to make money?
I hope so. Well, no, it's going to make money in China.
It's going to make so much money.
It's going to make so much money. It's insane. Okay. I love Transformers. Okay. It's the only movie I see. Because I love explosions, I love guns, and I love racial stereotypes.
Did you see the DVR on Air Force One was set to record Property Brothers?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Some reporter took a picture of a TV on a plane and it said, "About to switch to record Property Brothers. Do you still want to? Do you want to continue recording?"
Sure.
Smash that. Continue. Got to watch those Property Brothers.
So David Fincher will direct World War Z after
the sequel to
World War Z. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
That's a news story.
I didn't watch the first one.
Me neither. I didn't. I got a lot of these stories without knowing if you had seen any of these.
That's fine.
Let's do. Oh man, Let's do. Ridley Scott would be happy to do more Blade Runner films.
I'm sure he would enjoy getting paid.
Yeah. And there was another.
He's the opposite of Daniel Day-Lewis. He wants to stay away from that wife of his.
Yeah. There was another story about the director. I couldn't find it, but I heard it last week. And pretty much he was talking about the film, the guy who directed it, and he said that he's pretty much ready for people to be disappointed. But in a way, like, not everyone's going to be happy. This is a movie that was made in the 80s, and everyone's going to have expectations. And
that's my favorite part of the remake media cycle. There's when people first see it.
Yeah.
Like, first see the trailer or the image or anything like that, and there's always a little sight of excitement, and then there's the people who are like, oh, I hate remakes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets to the point where the people involved are like, it's not going to be as good as the first one. Don't be, the movie's not that good. Okay, just like, we know it's not quite the original. And then it comes out, and it does fine. Whatever.
Yeah, let's see how, I'm interested to see how it what goes on. There wasn't a lot of the grime in the trailer that is evident in the movie, in the first one. It seemed a lot more lived in, the world did, whereas the trailer seems a lot more clean,
Gotcha.
We'll see.
Okay.
Also, Harry Potter is 20 years old today.
Can I go back and do something?
Sure,
some other things real quick?
Go ahead.
Did you see the Foreigner trailer with Jackie Chan?
I did not.
Jackie Chan.
He's back?
Doing another movie.
There you go.
Looks pretty badass.
Oh, really? Badass or bad?
Badass.
Oh, ooh, okay.
It's coming out in September, and it's like Pierce Brosnan is he's the head of something.
Sure.
And there's an explosion, and Jackie Chan.
He's like, what? How old is he now?
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
Jackie Chan.
Pierce Bronson.
I don't know how old Pierce Brosnan is. I know Jackie Chan is 63.
63. Jeez.
And so his daughter dies, then Jackie Chan believes Pierce Brosnan is responsible for whatever reason.
Yeah, of course he is.
And he's just like blowing stuff up. He's fighting people, and he's just old man Jackie just whooping up on people.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a laugh and a half.
I like that. Anything else?
I'm gonna enjoy it. Pitch Perfect 3. They're gonna go sing for the troops.
The troops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, they go and sing for the troops. There was only like 6 Rebel Wilson fat jokes in the 2-minute trailer. Nice. She was wearing a hat that said "Make America Eat Again." Trey.
Oh wow!
I was laughing.
This is great.
They're not like other girls. Other girls wouldn't do that, but these ones will.
This sounds great. I'm so excited for Pitch Perfect 2 or 3.
Yeah, come on. Go watch Pitch Perfect.
I watched Pitch Perfect, a little bit of it.
I watched the first Pitch Perfect, and it was fine.
No
need for there to be 3.
Thank you, baby. That's from American Pie, which is not Pitch Perfect, but it should be.
You know what? You just love films.
What if they did an American Pie Pitch Perfect mashup?
Could be interesting.
Yeah. Make America fuck a pie again.
All right, so Harry Potter's 20.
Yay! Now, 20 years old as far as when the book was released? Okay.
The first book came out. And so all the potheads were super excited today.
The Potterheads, yeah.
Potheads. Yeah.
They're called Potterheads, not potheads, okay?
No, they're potheads.
Wow.
Really? They are.
21st century, bro.
Anyway, all these potheads were going nuts. How did you like the Harry Potter film franchise?
So, when did I even get into the books? I got into them very early on. I think might have been around the release of book 3.
Okay.
My mom got me the Sorcerer's Stone and from a book fair, and I was just staring at it one day in my room. And I'm like, you know what?
I don't know what any of these words say.
What are words? I was staring at it, and I read it, and I really liked it. And I read the second one in Chicago, and I was deadly sick.
In Chicago?
Yeah. Well, it was like, I just remember because it was really cold, and I was reading the second book, and I was very sick, and for like a year after that, I couldn't look at the second book without getting sick. Yeah.
Did all the wind in Chicago blow all the pages around? It's hard to lose your place in the book because of the windy city just blowing your book all over the place.
So I'm a huge fan of the book series, and I stood in line for the 5th, 6th, and 7th book to get it at midnight. I used to go on forums and do theories, and I used to highlight segments in the book, all that stuff. I was the biggest Harry Potter nerd.
Nice.
And so I love the books. The movies, I didn't. I always, and I guess that's the thing when you're a fan of a book and the book is always better than the movie.
Right.
I might be that. I just never cared for the movies as much. I always thought they were missing things. I thought they were rushing things. I thought they left too much out. I thought they didn't need to put some, it was just for some reason they never felt like movies. They felt like, okay, we're going to adapt this book.
Right. Which
to
is,
me.
Classic book turning into a movie
Yeah.
Behavior. That being said, I think the last 3 movies are better than the books.
Yeah.
I think those are not well-written books.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get past 5-ish.
Yeah, it was the 6 was a lot of backstory. It was just a lot of putting in backstory.
Uh-huh.
And then the 7th was a lot of the first half was kind of just them hopping around everywhere.
And it turns into a lot of action.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like scene to scene to scene with action. And she's not that good of an action writer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's really great at world building, like unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why those original books are so good.
That's why you have Harry Potter World now.
Right.
It's I went there last year and in Los Angeles, and man, I'm just this all came from one. Now, not really, because there's people, it was recreated from the film, so you have production designers, but this came from one person's head.
Yeah,
pretty much. Like, wow, like this whole theme park is one person's idea.
How was that butterbeer? That's what everybody wants to know.
Dude, it's great. It is so good.
Is it really?
It's.
I feel like if it was that good, you'd be able to get it everywhere.
You would think. It's really. I mean, it's fattening as hell. Like it tastes like pure sugar, but it's great. Yeah, it's great. It's like butterscotch kind of drink. Yeah, it's like a butterscotch soda kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah. I used to try to make butter beer, and it was terrible. I would just put like root beer and I put butter in it, and that was my butter beer. It was terrible.
Oh, Trey, no.
Yeah. No, Trey, no.
Is this why you can't go to Popeyes anymore?
I was a really skinny kid until high school, so. Or no, I mean till college.
Well, it just like.
Till college, yeah.
You just have the taste for.
The taste for butterbeer.
Anything that was good, you just made disgusting, and so it's just that relation in your head.
Exactly. So, were you a big fan of the books, movies? How did you?
I was a huge fan of the books. I started reading them in 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was always a thing. I had, my brother and sister, and we would have a chart on the wall, and it would be a big thing. You'd get it, and you would have the chart on the wall of what chapters you had read, and so you would have to like cross off what chapters you read, and you wouldn't be allowed to get too far ahead of the other ones because you had to rotate.
Page, yeah.
Yeah. And then I actually remember when it first started, my brother couldn't read, so I would read it to him. And
I tried to do that to my sister, but she wasn't into it.
Yeah. So, but my brother, when I wasn't available or doing anything, he would just sit with the book open and not be able to read, and just stare at the pages and try to figure things out.
Sure.
Which is kind of a fun little story.
I kind of remember doing that back in the day, but yeah.
Yeah. The movies.
What I like about the movies is that they pretty much kept the same cast together for all 8, I guess.
Yeah.
Except for, obviously Dumbledore, who the guy, Richard Harris died.
Yeah.
But I thought that was impressive, especially with the kids, the 3 kids. Yeah. That was really impressive that they kept that cast together for 8 movies.
And it wasn't just those kids. It
was the whole, and those
are the kids.
Those are very, very, very prestigious actors that they kept in. Rich, the lady who plays Professor McGonagall is like a humongous theater actress, and Alan Rickman, R.I.P. They kept those people together, and that's pretty impressive. I thought everything about the movies were pretty impressive. I the third one is universally said the best one because it was a different director.
Do you believe that it was?
I need to rewatch all of them.
The third one is the best one.
The what?
The third one is the best one.
Yeah.
Not that close.
No, it's not. The first 2, I'm kind of warmed up to them nowadays just because I was really upset with 4 and 5 to my memory. So I think I'm a little more warmed up to those. They're very fluffy, kind of kiddie. But again, though, it would suffer from kind of bad acting just because they were so young. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just... And again, a lot of the movies just seemed like they were just remaking the book. They weren't really. It wasn't. They were just putting the words on the screen. It wasn't like there was any kind of character development. There wasn't any. It didn't seem like there's any kind of. This won't really work. We need to make it work as a film, not just a retelling of the book.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the ways that Prisoner of Azkaban really was great. And I mean, part of it is because it was Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
And it's just this guy's after this is just gonna blow up and become all of his movies just win awards in the next.
That didn't really happen.
10 years.
Did it? What is he? Wait, what has he done? Alfonso Cuarón.
He did The Revenant.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was. Yeah, okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that was the same guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was another Mexican director, Spanish director. I'm going to cut all this out.
Were you talking about
I'm going to cut all this out.
Guillermo del Toro?
No, I wasn't thinking of Guillermo del Toro. But there was an article today I saw about Guillermo del Toro that his biggest regret was not doing a Harry Potter film. Which, if Guillermo del Toro did a fucking Harry Potter film, sign me the fuck up.
Just all the
fuck
weird
yes. Fuck
stuff.
Yes.
It is kind of weird to think that, Chris Columbus was the first one.
Yeah.
And so he's like, this is what the goblins look like.
Yeah.
And then everybody else has to be like, all right, these are the Gringotts goblins now. We have to stay true to that.
Man, I remember I used to have so much Harry Potter merchandise from when it was when they announced that they were going to make a movie, and so they started making all this merchandise, and it was like very kind of almost retro, I want to say, merchandise, where it was like posters, but it wasn't the actors. It was drawings and like almost like almost what are they called? Like sketches. It was really. I wish I had that. Probably that stuff's probably worth a lot of money, but I don't have it anymore. I wish I did, because that was really cool. It was like right when the movie was announced. They didn't cast the actors yet. I remember. Actually, what I do have is it was like a $70 gold bound Sorcerer's Stone book. I still have that.
Oh.
Yeah, and I also have the British version of Book 4, which I think is my favorite book.
Trey, I have some bad news.
Uh-oh.
You weren't the one that was wrong.
What?
It was me.
Oh, it was?
Me was the one that was wrong.
Okay.
Alfonso Cuarón directed Gravity.
Oh, yeah, you did do Gravity.
Which was
that was an award-winning movie.
Inarritu did
The
Revenant. Yeah. So my apologies.
It's all good.
To the community.
We should do a segment called Corrections.
Yes.
At the end of every episode. If you want to send in your corrections.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah. If you guys hate everything that we do. Is there any other books? Is there any books that you think are worse than the movies?
Books that are worse than the movies?
Yes.
I couldn't really get into Lord of the Rings books.
Really?
It was a lot of old English.
Did you?
I'm not saying they're bad.
Did you read them first though?
No, that's the thing.
I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of it.
It is way different though, because it's in the Lord of the Rings books. It is so much, about building the world.
Yeah,
and then it'll be the Battle of Helm's Deep, and it'll be half a page, and it'll just kind of jump to them talking about all the people they killed. Whereas in the movie, you get to see that kind of stuff, which is preferable, I guess. It's just two completely different tastes, and they may not both be appealing.
Sure,
I suppose.
Sure. What about you?
I thought I'd had something for those.
Did you realize you don't really read books?
No,
like
I read.
You read books?
I read books.
I need to start reading
especially
more books.
A lot of the time, I'll see that a movie's coming out, and I'll read the books. Like
I own a lot of books. Now, if I've read them, what book would you want to see made into a movie? Like that hasn't been made into a movie yet.
Brave New World?
Yeah, that really hasn't. That's a good one.
I think Brave New World would be interesting. I think it's pretty applicable. Yeah.
I think also, like, on that vein, I think, what is it? Slaughterhouse 9, right? Or Slaughterhouse 5.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great one.
Okay.
And also The Stand. I know there was like a mini series, but I would like to see that maybe an HBO series or like a redone version, reimagined version of that. I'd like to see that. The Stand.
Okay.
Yeah. But Slaughterhouse, fuck, I don't want to get the name wrong. And Cat's Cradle too is a great one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Slaughterhouse 5, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I would also what else would I want to see in a movie? I read some Noah Hawley books, and he's the guy who does Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And he has one book, Things Fall Down, not Things Fall Apart. It's
Falling Down.
It's something like that.
Sure.
Before the Fall. That's what
Okay.
it's called. And I think that would be interesting as a movie. I like a lot of his stuff. It's kind of like a mystery where they work backwards to kind of figure out why a plane crashed.
Oh, like Lost.
It's kind of like Lost. Wow.
Sorry. I would like to see more Lovecraft stuff be made into movies.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of the stuff you just can't really like wrap your mind around. There's a ton of full books that are great, but there's a lot of short stories that I think where if you get kind of the general idea.
Yeah.
I like a lot of.
I'm good with inspired by Lovecraft stuff.
I like a lot of dystopian kind of stuff, and so I think there's a lot of Ray Bradbury short stories that I would enjoy, and like Harrison Bergeron or something like that, where it's just kind of the tone is that. But the problem is then you have to name it, as Harrison Bergeron, the movie, and then it's okay. Well, that's not what this is. This is just kind of So I don't know.
If you had to take a book right now and make that into a movie, what would you do?
If I had to take a
book, and make it into a movie, they're like, okay, we'll give you one movie, but it has to be based on the book.
Let's see. Do you have anything in mind?
Not The Stand.
Okay.
But I don't know.
It's
Brave
good.
New World's a good one.
I think
they're making that, or at least it's been in.
I think it's been something that people have been talking about forever, where it's just doesn't really.
Or Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies. I like to see a Lord of the Flies movie nowadays.
Right.
And not a it's based off like actual. This is Lord of the Flies.
One thing that I did that I have been thinking about. It's just generally. Did you ever read the Matt Christopher books?
No.
As a kid,
what do you?
Those are just they're like little sports stories.
Oh no, I did not.
There was something kind of in that vein. They were called the Angel Park All-Stars or something like that. And I've been thinking a lot about just kind of writing one of those out as a feature, just because it's just a bunch of characters playing baseball. I want to make a baseball movie.
Want to make a baseball Everybody's Got Some?
No.
The Richard Linklater movie?
No.
Do you like Richard Linklater?
I think he is more of an interesting director than a good director.
Sure. I can get behind you on that.
I think he has a lot of interesting ideas. I think he does a lot of interesting things.
I like
a lot
Slacker.
of times I leave his movies and I'm like, like, cool idea.
Sure.
But not necessarily the greatest follow through.
I really like Slacker. That's a big inspiration for me. I would like to make a movie kind of like that. But it's actually, I have an idea for it, but it's about video game culture and stuff. Oh. And it's sort of like that, but it's like people playing video games and that the video games connect everybody in some way.
Nice.
Something like that.
Very cool.
Cool. Well, anything else, or we should maybe wrap this one up?
Do we want to do Twitter for this one?
Yeah, let's do Twitter for this one, actually. Okay, we can do that. Let me get this Twitter open.
Unless we gotta pad out the next episode.
No, I think we will be good because I know our top 10 favorite films one took a long time. So okay. Those top 10s take a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, Twitter will be fast.
And also, I have a TV show idea I kind of put, maybe get by you.
Okay.
Get by you.
Okay.
Okay. So, I want to pass. You know what? We'll do that next. I'll give you that question next segment.
Okay.
So Tommy G, that's Ginsburg, asks, why don't video games make great movies? And then Gustav says, and vice versa.
Okay.
I disagree with vice versa. I do think there are a lot of really good video games based on movies. Especially
anything in particular?
Mad Max. I didn't play Mad Max, but I got pretty good reviews. There was a Chronicles of Riddick game that was supposed to be amazing. You know, every Star Wars, there's tons of good Star Wars games.
Yeah.
There's movies that are, there are games that are pretty much movies, like Uncharted.
Yeah.
You know, so there are a lot of good video games based on movies, but the vice versa, I think it's because video games are stick with me, they're the ultimate form of
interactive
media. Interactive media.
Yep.
Because you have books. Well, books have no visuals. You have movies. Movies have visuals, but you can't interact. And now video games are visuals, and you can interact with the story.
Yep.
So you're taking that away, and video game stories are great, but you know, you're kind of taking that interactivity away.
Yeah.
Now, I think something like Firewatch, where there's not a lot of interactivity, could make a great movie as long as you have the characters and story and you make something of that. Did you ever play Firewatch?
I did not.
It's pretty much a game where you're you're this dude you are a Firewatch guy in the 80s, and you're pretty much some weird stuff's going on in the camp, and the only person you're talking to is this lady named Delilah, who is at a watchtower in like far on the other side of the forest, and I think you're in Yellowstone, and it's pretty much a story about him and her and some mysteries going on. And it's really good. Not a lot of actual gameplay, but it's a really good story.
Okay.
Except for the ending. It's a really good story.
Okay.
And I think that could make, a good one. I think a game like BioShock, where it's the world building.
Right.
I think if you just take the world and you world build, you can make it good. Maybe a TV show might actually be better. Because the idea of a video game is that you sit there for 15 hours and play it. With the TV show, you have 2 seasons, maybe 20 episodes, all together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would probably work better. But I think it's just the fact that, video games are interactive and TV and movies are not. And so you're kind of devolving, you're going back.
Right. I would say that a lot of it is because you are the main character in whatever game you're playing. And so a lot of times, if you're taking from, Legend of Zelda or whatever else, they don't want to force character traits onto the main character necessarily, because it's how you play it. And that's your thing. Like part of the Hitman game versus the Hitman movie is that the fun is you're supposed to kill somebody and you can't get caught by doing it. So the fun is being able to run around and like maybe you just shoot somebody and then it's running away and trying to hide and do stuff like that. But that's not how an actual person would do something. And in order to make a relatable main character,
there are some games that do have good characters.
Right.
But even those characters are a little more tropey than, I think if you put like Uncharted onto if you make the Uncharted movie, in which they're going to do, it's going to just be an Indiana Jones ripoff. Maybe. Who knows? If they do a Metal Gear Solid movie, which they're going to do, and actually the director who's doing that did King of Skull Island.
Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, and he's actually a humongous Metal Gear fan. He was at E3. He did an interview with Kojima, so maybe it might be good, but who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I think if you do a Metal Gear movie, actually that might work, just because it's so fucking off the wall. And we're kind of looping back. You should play that.
Okay.
All right. So, Crispy Ham. Okay. Chris Ham asks, "Where's the Boss Baby special? I need a round table."
So we probably missed the boat on a Boss Baby special.
Yeah.
I talked about it a little bit on an episode of Super GamesCast, actually. But for the most part, you're going to have to wait for that stuff. You're not going to have to wait. It's not going to happen. But there is going to be, I assume, a Despicable Me 3 roundtable.
There is. Because I told Austin, since he lost the E3 picks, he lost the bet, he's got to watch it 3 times in a row.
In a movie theater, he has to watch Despicable Me 3.
3 times. We'll watch it with him the first time, but we're not.
Yeah, I'll watch it with him once, but I'm not going to watch it 3 times.
And then we'll have a round table.
And we can talk about
I don't know
those
if
minions.
Your schedules work for this, but I would love to do just like every month we have just the 3 of us do a podcast.
This sounds like an off-mic conversation.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. We'll see how it works.
That sounds like a no from Adam.
No, it'll be fine.
Danny Hernandez asks, new Spider-Man movie coming out soon. What's your excitement if they have a random rescue a little girl's balloon side plot movie of the year?
Is that a reference to something?
I don't know what it's a reference to.
Okay. Because I missed it if it was. My apologies to that guy. My excitement level, it's apparently gotten really good reviews.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait and see what's going on. See how the general public feels about it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be in the theater opening weekend.
No, me neither. But yeah, it looks intriguing.
It's also, the more I see about it, the less about Spider-Man it seems to be. It seems like there's going to be a lot of Iron Man. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of other things. Is
Spider-Man's Asian friend?
Is Spider-Man in this movie, or is it?
I really wish they had his fat Asian friend as Spider-Man, not him. That would have been a lot better. I'm Spider-Man. Friend of the show, Chris Gross, asks, Shrek or Donkey?
Okay, so this is a serious one.
Yes.
See, Shrek has the layers, like an onion, not like a cake or a parfait. Shrek gets the girl.
He does.
Donkey gets a dragon.
Well, he gets a girl, too.
He gets a dragon.
He gets a dragon. A dragon girl.
Shrek is grumpy from the beginning. He ends up being a soft soul.
Yeah.
Donkey
just wants to make waffles.
All he wants to do is have friends.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is make friends. He's been pushed out. Shrek, big and strong, people in his swamp, which he ends up liking by the end. My verdict. Donkey!
Donkey!
Give me Donkey!
Hey, Donkey! I don't know anything else about that, but yeah.
You choose Donkey as well?
Yeah, I choose Donkey, man. He just wants to make waffles.
Who do I want to hang out with more?
Here, I'm making waffles.
I'm going to hang out with Donkey every day of the week
Donkey's
over dumbass
great.
Shrek.
Shrek's a wet blanket, man.
Yeah, he's making candles out of his earwax.
Yeah, it's gross.
He's got slugs on him.
He's just like, man, I don't want to hang out with anyone because I'm an ogre.
Yeah.
Donkey's like, hey, man, I'm Ed Murphy. I can only play animals.
He's having a great time.
He's just having
Everybody's
fun.
Loving it.
He's the laugh and a half. He's the life of the party.
Of course.
You know?
Donkey.
It's great. Donkey.
Where's the Donkey spinoff?
We need Donkey Tales. What about Donkey?
Why did we get Puss in Boots before we got Donkey?
That's bullshit. We need Donkey Kong.
You know why?
Why?
Because
below the puss.
Well, all right.
What's your reason?
Eddie Murphy.
Oh. Why about Eddie Murphy?
I don't know.
He should dress up as Donkey, like a real life, but he wears donkey makeup.
Just like Gumby?
No, just like every like Norbit, but it's a donkey.
Okay, he plays all the characters.
Yeah, he plays all the characters.
I'm down for that.
All right. You know that Chris Farley was supposed to play Shrek?
I did. Have you heard the recordings of it?
I've heard it, yeah. It's
very
such
different.
a different movie. It's so different.
Yep.
Oh, it might have been better, too. I don't know, though.
I don't know. The first Shrek's a legitimately really good movie.
It's a great movie, which I don't get why it's so memed all the time.
Well, because it's something that was great.
Yeah.
And then fell victim to the sequel-ness
Yeah.
and ended up becoming like a parody of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just all about the rise and fall. And also Shrek looks funny and sounds funny.
Yeah, he does. Final question from Darian McBee, who's a friend of mine. He was on a GamesCast once.
Oh.
How many Transformers movies will there be until they stop?
They will never
They'll never stop
making these movies. The Chinese love them. A lot of people in America love them. It'll get plenty of hate, but you know what? Donald Trump won the presidency. And people love cars. And they love robots.
Rubits. Love explosions.
They love explosions.
And military men talk about military things.
Well, and Michael Bay is going to be gone. Apparently, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
this is
really?
going to be his
final one.
Last one, I think I read. But
what if the next one's like amazing? Because they get another director, another actor,
taking a whole new direction.
Whole different direction. We're doing this different this time. It's going to be a romantic comedy. About a boy and his bot. Boy and his bot.
We're going to get a whole lot more of that.
Whole bot boy action. It's going to star. Who's it going to star?
Josh Gad.
Josh Gad. And who's the bot?
Phil Simms.
Phil Simms is the bot. It's going to be Josh Gad and Phil Simms.
Yeah.
And it's a boy and his bot, and the bot's teaching the boy how to love. And because he meets this pretty girl.
Not the other way around.
I mean, we can if we want to go that way. We can do whatever we want, man. It's our movie.
It could be yours.
It could be mine. It's going to be called Make Bots Great Again.
She got butt.
She got bot.
That's what I meant.
Well, Adam, this has been a great episode of Super GamesCast 64.
You better believe it.
It's been awesome. If you like this show, please leave a review on iTunes. That would be amazing. That helps out a lot more than you think.
I don't know how much it helps.
I don't know either, but everyone says that, so I'm going to say it.
Okay.
I love it. Everyone says it helps a lot more than you ever know. It's like, oh, does it? It does. Please leave a review. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please tell us what you think of the show. My Twitter handle is @CrayTreyVids. Adam, what's your Twitter stuff?
Before I get to the Twitter stuff, let me tell these people what they need to put in the review. Say
5 stars.
Yeah. Okay. Starts off 5 stars. Super FilmsCast. These guys know how to count to 5. This is why I gave it 5 stars. Trey is a loving and caring host. Meanwhile, Adam is like the donkey of the show. But I mean donkey in a good way, with a capital D. Eddie Murphy's donkey, from Shrek. 5 stars, you write it again a second time, and then say, suck on D's.
Laugh and a half.
Laugh and a half.
Laugh and a half.
So, put that. My Twitter handle is @thefullertron.
Mm-hmm.
Venmo me your life savings.
Get him a PS4.
@Adam Fullerton. I don't want a PS4.
We're getting everyone a PS4. I really feel bad because Tom Ginsburg did donate $20, and I don't think we're ever going to get up to 300.
Well, that's fine, and he doesn't get it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. He doesn't get that.
Yeah, he doesn't get charged.
Okay, good.
That's the way Kickstarter works.
No, it's not Kickstarter. It's
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Well, you may have funded him.
Ooh.
Go fund yourself.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. Please subscribe and tell us what you think of the show and all that fun stuff. And until next week,
have a laugh and a half.
It's called a road. It's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's called a road. It's called a rainbow road. And you will know when you get there. It's called a road. It's called a rainbow road. It is a road that you go. It's a road that you go when you die. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's got Princess Peach, Mario, and the Toad. It's a road called Rainbow Road. It's a road we're all gonna go. We'll go. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. It's Rainbow Road. It's where you go when you die. It's Rainbow Road. I'll miss you again, Uncle. the road, it's called the Rainbow Road. It is a road that you go.